Whoa, we back with another one. It's the Boxing Clinic. You know what it is, man. Bring y'all a rare like 11 o'clock, video, but we doing it. And apparently, Bob Arum, says that Keith Thurman ain't no match for Terence Crawford, and that's probably why he shut down after the Felix Diaz fight. With Crawford said he wanted to fight Thurman, and Bob Arum shut it down. He was like, man, he injured. We ain't worried about him right now, man. Shut up, Terence Crawford. Shut up, boy. That's what he told him, basically. And does that? I mean, I was on record saying I thought Terence Crawford would beat Keith Thurman, because I remember Leonard Bundini Bundu switch hitting gave Thurman problems, and Thurman was scared to commit on his punches after scoring a knockdown and seeing Bundu was, could have been knocked out, and he didn't go for it. Look at Terence Crawford. Similar fighter, switch hitter, but way more talented and punches harder than Leonard Bundini Bundu ever punched. And I looked at it like that. I said, boy, I think, Terence Crawford might have a little bit too much skills and too much heat for Keith Thurman. So I like Bob Arum. I majorly favor Terence Crawford, just off of that. Unless Keith Thurman gets back to the basics and become that aggressive fighter that I know he can, and kind of mix in the finesse, become more of a caveman, more of a aggressive fighter, throwing bombs like he used to instead of moving and trying to hit and hit on the move. And it's taken away from his power. It's taken away from his aggressiveness and his nickname one time. But it's no secret. I've been telling you guys Keith Thurman my favorite fighter, and he dropped a little bit because of the inactivity, but I still rock with him. But I gotta be honest, I don't try to show no bias on here. I think Crawford will give him a 2-piece in the biscuit, $5 Popeye's box. And I side with Bob Arum, and then you can look on the other side of the coin and you could be like, man, what if Bob Arum is really afraid that Keith Thurman is the matchup, is a bad matchup for Terence Crawford, and that's why he's shying away, and he feels like Errol Spence is right for the pickings for Crawford's style. And what if that's something that Team Crawford and Top Rank does believe, and Top Rank and Bob Arum just reiterating that? Maybe they really maybe Crawford doesn't really want Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman might be a bad matchup style for him. And with, Earl coming forward, Terence Crawford, potentially could thrive by outboxing Earl as Keith Thurman did, as Kell Brook did. And maybe that's the thought process and the belief, kind of say, oh, look, we want the boogeyman, but the boogeyman style kind of fits Terence Crawford a little better than them, and they probably believe Errol Spence is a little bit limited. But Bob Arum had nothing but great praise for him. And, that'd be an interesting match with Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford. Seeing, who would be the aggressor, who would take the lead. Both guys kind of mirror each other as far as they both can be aggressive, and they both can box and move, both high IQ. But I'll just give a major edge to Terence Crawford without even seeing him fight at welterweight. If he has a hiccup and looks bad, I'm not going to overreact to it. But we got to see Keith Thurman. A lot of people get sour on Keith Thurman because we haven't seen him fight consistently, so we tend to forget. And what's popping right now is, what's popping. Keith Thurman really back page, New York Times News, man. He got a big at the front page, get you a tune-up, look good, fight you somebody good, next little tune-up like a Danny or Sean Porter, look good, and then, the gumbo starts to boil, and now we really talking about you and Errol Spence. And Bob Arum says that, he expects Errol Spence to, manhandle Keith Thurman. I'm going to link the article in the description. He said if Keith Thurman happens to get by Errol Spence, they would go ahead and make that fight happen. But Bob Arum talking that ish. It was basically in response to what Keith Thurman said and telling Terence Crawford to get relevant at welterweight, and which is not a bad move. Keith Thurman's number one. And I think Bob Arum understands that, Earl and Keith is going to fight first. He believes it's a foregone conclusion that Earl is going to win. So he's looking at the bigger picture. Crawford's looking at the now and something that's not really, factual right now. That can't be factual. It's fiction. You're not going to just come to the welterweight and get a shot at Keith Thurman because of the promotional and the management situation. He got to understand that's the business side of boxing. I believe he understands that now. And Bob Arum sat down and told him, like, look, man, we think Errol Spence and you is a bigger fight than Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman going to keep getting injured and keep, putting stuff off. If we gun for Errol Spence, say we want Errol Spence now, I know you feel confident you could beat him, then that's the fight that's going to happen first, because Keith Thurman going to keep getting injured, keep ducking Errol Spence, and that's the fight the fans going to turn the demand on. And I think that's Bob Arum's angle. But let me know what y'all think. We gone.